to all that good stuff? All right. Okay, let me get my Zoom controls out of the way. That's always fun. Everybody see the screen? All right, so good morning or good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the R9 Tech Bits mini-series. Today, we're going to be discussing Google Sheets. Just a quick introduction, how to create a Google Sheet, and a little bit with 5 tips about some new things that I've kind of discovered as I've relearned this lesson with Google Sheets. 5 tips on just some quick and easy things that you can do while you're working in Sheets. So hopefully we'll learn something new today. So just a quick outcomes. We always want to become more and more familiar with technologies and Google Suites. Identify ways to utilize these in your work and in your classroom. Make sure that we understand how to set these new tools up and make sure that we practice and play together. So as Tech Norms, just like any other meeting that we have here at Region 9, just everyone to participate. You can always choose to pass, so don't be afraid to jump in there or to say, hey, I don't really want to participate today. That's okay with me as well. Be an active listener, open and honest. Don't be afraid to take risks, find connections among each other, and above all, respect and appreciate our different ideas to support each other. So on each of these PowerPoint presentations that I have posted on the agenda, you will see my notes and some helpful videos that I've watched while creating these lessons. So make sure that you check that out. We're going to have a practice and play session today, and I did share with you a Google Sheet that we can all learn together on and with. And then I always include my contact information just in case you have any questions or need help with anything follow up. I'm always here for you in any way, shape, or form. So there we go. We're back out of the PowerPoint. So on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being I don't know anything and 5 meaning I'm an expert, how do you feel about working in Google Sheets? Or what are some things that, like, does everybody know how to create one? Just kind of want to get a quick poll.
Yes.
Okay, so we feel like we know how to create a Google Sheet, where to go to do that, right? There's a couple of ways. Butch, you said yes. Show me some ways that, or talk me through some ways that you create a Google Sheet.
Oh, just follow the instructions on screen, really. Just go in and create and go into Sheets and start filling out or transferring over.
Okay, all right. So, and that's a good point. You can also, if you have spreadsheets that are saved in your hard drive, you can also always upload them into a Google Sheet on your drive. So that's really nice. So the one way that I commonly is access or create any new document in Google Suites is I go to my drive. As you can see, I'm in Google Drive's drive.google.com. And at the very top, you have a couple of ways that you can start a new sheet. A quick and easy way is always look for the plus symbol. If you click on that, you can quickly find Google Sheets, which is the green icon with kind of the cross. And you can choose a blank choose from a blank spreadsheet, or you can choose from templates as well. So I'm going to show you what the template side will look like, just so you have an idea. There looks like there's only a couple of templates that we play with or work with here at the Region 9 that we have saved for finance and accounting, but there's also ones in the general tab section of your template gallery where you can quickly, like if you have an idea of what data you're trying to work with, and like for attendance, gradebook, assignment tracker, a lot of teachers utilize Sheets to track a lot of data. So some of these things are already created. So don't be afraid to kind of check out that template gallery, because it could be handy. So going back to my drive and clicking on the plus sign, I can quickly click on Sheets, and it opens up a blank template, Google Sheets template. Always the first thing that we want to do when we are creating anything in Drive is what? Rename it. That's right, Amanda, rename it. Otherwise it gets lost in that type of unnamed document folders or file list, and then you don't even know how to search for them. You could search for them by the date and other ways, but it just becomes kind of difficult at that time. So I always say rename it right at the beginning. So oops, apologize, it was 22 test. All right, oops. If I can type, you never can type when you need to. So everything in a Google Sheets is related. It's the same thing as Excel, except it's a slimmed and trimmed down version. The nice thing about working in Sheets is you are able to collaborate. There's 3 chats going on. Amanda 4-3, what is this? What are y'all chatting?
You told us on a scale of 1 to 5.
Oh, y'all did it in chat. Y'all didn't speak up. Oh, I just thought nobody was wanting to participate. Okay. So we have Amanda, you're saying you're 4, Judy Cruz, welcome, 3, Teresa Baxter, 3-4, playing it safe. Okay, awesome. Well, good. So kind of like middle of the road. So we kind of know how to get to Sheets. We know how to create. We've done, has everybody kind of played with basic formulas in Sheets?
That's probably the one area that I'm not super familiar with.
Okay, and we will drive our way to that. But again, these are kind of just quick 30-minute series or sessions, and we always want to make sure that we cover the basics first and then kind of grow together. So today I won't be going over formulas. I could just show you a quick formula, but I do have 5 tips and tricks that I've learned that I think that you're going to find really, really interesting. But going back to our new sheet, as you can see, there's columns and rows. And just like a traditional spreadsheet, all of these columns and rows in the cell are connected, which allows us to organize and reorganize data quickly. So, and it's all related to each other in that spreadsheet. So it becomes a really good tool to utilize especially when you're working with a lot of numbers or just different data in general. So everything is connected through these columns and rows. Okay, so I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to close this out. Does anybody have any questions so far? And I know a few of you jumped in a little bit late, so I'm going to go ahead and share this. Teresa Baxter, I think. Teresa Baxter. Judy Cruz. I don't know if I have your, oh, you're right there.
Yes, there I am.
There you are. Awesome. So I'm going to share that with you. Jennifer Johnson. Okay, who else did I leave out or has it not been shared with? Anybody else? I'm going to go through my list really quickly. I think that's it. Okay, so I'm going to send that to your way. Yes, outside of your organization, share it anyway. All right, so if you can look, I've kind of created a simple spreadsheet for today, and let me get my Zoom controls out of the way again. Really? So I want to kind of go through 5 different tips and tricks for quickly just utilizing some of the things that you can do in Sheets. Since we are kind of familiar, we know how to create a sheet, and we've kind of worked in that environment in a basic or you know mid-basic type of setting. So for now, and thank you for coming in that spreadsheet. The first thing I want to talk to you about is automatic memory. So when you're working in sheets, it has something that's called an automatic memory. So if I do one and two, and I highlight my first two cells that I've just added in, and I grab this little box, and if it'll grab, oops, let me start over. Highlight these two boxes and then pull it down. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. My internet is slow. And then pull it down. It should automatically populate and understand the kind of sequencing that you're wanting to accomplish, okay? The same thing goes for if I do 5 and 7, okay? And I highlight these two, pick your square and drag it down. Whew. If I can get it right. You know, it never works when you want it to. Let me try to turn off my camera. Maybe that will give me a little bit more bandwidth to work with here. Sorry about that. So if I go to highlight the 5 and the 7, and you see this little square right there, I'm trying to populate it down. There it goes. All right. Well, it didn't do it all the way. So if I kind of make that plus symbol right there, scroll it all the way down, it should populate. Ooh, sorry, guys. Let me reload. I'm just having slow internet. Okay, there we go. So as you noticed, it kind of picked up on my pattern that I was sequencing with the 5 and 7, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So every two, it basically was saying, hey, she wants to do this type of sequencing, and I can just pre-populate that information really quickly. The other nice thing is it also works for calendars as well. All right, so if you want to do the same thing for if you're creating a schedule, you can highlight your two. It's going to pick up on that pattern. Make sure you grab that square, but we want it as a target. There we go with the crosshairs, and go all the way down. And it's basically going to populate, well, it should, if it should go. Cool beans. Let's see if I can get it with these three. There we go. So it'll basically pick up on the sequence Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it'll just keep going. So depending on what type of calendar you're trying to create, it will kind of pick up on the sequencing and provides an automatic memory for you. So that's kind of cool. The next thing, I'm going to tab over to the split text. So the other thing that I discovered, which, oh my God, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, it's kind of like I never knew how to, if I received data, if somebody was filling out a form and they didn't put in the data separately, like first name, last name, they kind of combined it together, but I need my data to show it separately. So if you see on the first name and last name column, it's kind of, somebody got it right up at top, but then I have some entries that are not clean, not some clean data. So I want to quickly move and separate out that information. So how do I do that? What you want to do is you want to click on the first cell that has the name combined and highlight all of the names that you would like to separate. And then you want to go to data, go to split text to columns, and then it's going to give you a little separator pop-up. Now, in this case, you want to identify what is separating or how you want to separate your data, or what's the thing that's separating data? Sometimes it's a period, and sometimes it's a space. In this case, it's a space. So I'm gonna click space, and voila. Did everybody get that? Because I can't see your pictures right now.
That's a great tip. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Did you not know that? Okay, good. See, me either. And I was sitting there and I would do it the old fashioned way. That was, it just, or if it has this, that will be handy for Zoom attendance reports. Nice, Fred. I'm glad that you like that one. The third thing that I want to kind of go through is the hide timestamp. So a lot of times in Region 9, we work with Google Forms. But at the beginning, we are collecting timestamp and email address, and then it goes to the kind of more meaty data that we're looking to. Oh, I wish I knew that years ago. Me too, Fred, me too. So what we want to do is I want you to just know that whenever you're working with data, there's a quick and easy way to hide this information, okay? And you can do not just one column, but you can do 2 columns. So say that I want to hide my timestamp. What you want to do is pick your column or whatever you want to hide, okay? There's a little arrow button and then hide column, okay? Now keep in mind when you do that, you're going to notice that I don't see my A column anymore, and now I have this arrow button. So if I want to bring it back, I simply click on that arrow button and there's my hidden timestamp. Now I can do the same thing again, highlighting both of these. Click on the drop-down caret, and I can say hide column A through B. And again, it's hiding my next 2 columns, or my first 2 columns, so I can kind of see what I need to see a little bit easier. And then again, you're looking at this dark black arrow in the C column. If I want to bring it back, I simply hover over it and I can reveal it, and it reveals it again, okay? The other thing, so say I'm working for freezing columns. So the nice thing about this, I wish I knew that years ago. I used that for a virtual academy scoring. Ooh, nice. Yeah, because there's so much data and it can get a little bit full on the page. So it's nice when you can hide your columns and just kind of clean it up a little bit. So if you notice on the freeze columns tab, I already see that I've got some hidden. So what I've done is I've already hidden these tabs, these first 2 tabs, which are awesome. And I want to rehide them. Hide column A and B. But what I would like to do is I would like to now freeze, because what happens is when I start scrolling over here, I lose my first and last name of the information that I want to look at, right? So I lose what person or client that I'm working with. So, and Judy, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were going to be here today, but I took a form from the Tech Bits thing. So
No worries, no worries.
okay, hopefully that doesn't offend you. So what I want to do is I want to highlight the first 2 columns that I would like to freeze, and I'm going to say view. I'm going to go to my view, and here you have your freeze, and I'm going to say up to column. Well, I can do column C. I thought I would be able to do C and D. I wonder if I did it this way. Freeze up to column D. I wonder what that does. Okay, so that kind of worked. Now, the other handy thing that I don't know if you know this about freezing, but you see where this bar is and that hand, I can basically take that back and then it moves my freeze area. Do you notice how it moved my freeze area really quickly? So say I only froze the first column, but then I got into it a little bit and I was like, yeah, I really need to see the person's last name too. So I just hover over with my hand, make it into, make it into a little hand, and I slide it, if I can get it to work correctly, slide it over, slide over, slide over, there it goes. And then it's now freezing the column out to D. Okay, so that one, I didn't really know that I could slide that around. So that was kind of I knew about freezing columns, but I didn't know about this handy little slide over. So I'm definitely going to use that in the future moving forward. And the final quick and handy trick that I want to show you is how to quickly revise your different data in cells. So say that I am working in a pretty long spreadsheet and it has lots of different tabs down below or sheets down below. What's nice is I can pick like a title or something that I'm working with. So say I have cat all through my spreadsheet, but kind of scattered out. What I want to do is I want to quickly change cat to dog. So to do that, I would simply, and this is a little bit of a formula. Okay, so you click in the cell that is open, you click equals, and then you select the cell that you would like to change. Okay. And what you can do at this point, oops, let me get over there. So now it's added a cat, right? So that this cell was equal to this cell. Now, what I've done is I've just basically mapped those two cells together by commanding it with an equal sign. And if I want to change that wording from to cat to dog, I can quickly do that in a pinch. Now, the other nice thing about that is if I open up a new sheet and I press equals and I go back to my other tab, you'll notice that on the new sheet that I created, it's now copied over the dog. Okay. I wanted to do that to all of them. For some reason, it should have taken this dog one and done it to all of them. Does anybody know what step I'm missing? There is a way to do that. Huh. Equals. Okay, well, everybody's crickets, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep playing with that, but there should have been a way for me to have scattered data throughout, and clicking on that. Oops. Okay, click equals dog, enter, and then if I change this, it's tied together, but I want all of these to change too. Maybe I have to do that. No, I don't know. We'll have to do it. I apologize. I had to pull in great information. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Judy. Have a great day. All right. So I've kind of showed y'all at least 5 different little tips and tricks. Does anybody want to have any questions or want to mess around with anything while we're here? We have a few minutes.
Hey April, what's the difference between that last one you were working and find and replace all?
Ooh, so that's what maybe that's what you need to help me with. Hold on. Okay, so let me get back into my share. Let's go back into equal signs. Okay, so where's your replace all?
So you got
Where do you go?
edit.
Edit. Okay. Find and replace.
Mm-hmm.
Find, and so I can find cat and replace with dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And it's
also search within formulas. Okay. Match entire cell contents. Which one do I click here?
You replace all on the bottom.
Just replace all. Okay.
So now all your cats are dogs.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to do, except the way that she was teaching me today, which is on the video that I provided on the notes, she did it with an equal sign, but I must have been missing some sort of step. So I apologize. But that was, see, this is why we all work together, because you know, you've had to do that before and you use edit. And
So
I've never used that before.
also, like you did the equal on sheet number 6. So if you change the word, if you still have that equal in there, do you see how the equal in there?
I do.
If you change the word in equal signs, it's going to change that one too.
Okay, if I change the word in
You
equal
gotta-
signs,
No, no,
like,
no. You
no, no,
gotta,
no.
if you go to the sheet that says dog on it,
Okay, and this one, right?
if you
This one?
change it there, it's going to change it on your sheet number 6. But
No,
you
I
have to
messed up.
use whichever cell you did it on. I don't know what cell you did it.
I don't know either. I think I got rid of it.
Just go to sheet number 6 and then click there. It's C5 you did.
Okay, equal, I'm gonna just redo that and then do this one. Enter. And then if I go back and do this one and do hi cat, then I should be able to, it's now cat.
Yep.
Okay. So those are, so I'm able to map together two things, but I wanted to do that replace all. And somehow she was doing it with just the formulaic version, not using the edit like you showed us with the find and replace. I'm kind of thinking the find and replace is a lot easier. So, you know,
Yeah, probably with the equal sign, you need a comma or semicolon, and then you copy the next cell.
okay. Yeah, well, okay, so maybe just check that video out. It's pretty short, Fred, and it's towards the end of the video, but maybe I missed a step, but gosh, I swear she was just doing that one thing. And as soon as she clicked enter, it changed everything. It was
Right.
awesome. So my bad for not having more time to play with that. But, you know, again, this is kind of us talking through it and learning together. So thank you for sharing that, Fred. I appreciate you. We're kind of at the end of our segment. Does anybody have any other questions, comments, concerns, or needs moving forward?
No, that was great, April. There were several things that I didn't know that are there. So
Oh, good. Well, like I said, I always try to, I know that a lot of us have worked in Sheets before, but I want to cover that basics for those of us that have never worked in Sheets before, and then just kind of revisit some of those basic and maybe hopefully show you guys something new. So hopefully you learned something new today, and I just appreciate your time and coming and hanging out with me. So.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.